Good morning, everybody. Welcome. My name is Tuli Patel, and I'm honored to greet you this morning and welcome you warmly into this virtual time together on this last Sunday of 2020 as we connect across space and time. We are honored and delighted to welcome Reverend Erin Walter to our virtual pulpit this morning, and you'll get to see and hear a lot from her in this service. For now, I invite you to take a deep breath and ready yourself for the sacred time. We begin with a poem from Joy Harjo, a wonderful Native American poet. The poem is called Eagle Poem. To pray, you open your whole self to sky, to earth, to sun, to moon, to one whole voice that is you, and know there is more that you can't see, can't hear, can't know, except in moments steadily growing, and in languages that aren't always sound, but other circles of motion. Like eagle that Sunday morning over Salt River, circled in blue sky, in wind, swept our hearts clean with sacred wings. We see you, see ourselves, and know that we must take the utmost care and kindness in all things. Breathe in, knowing we are made of all this, and breathe, knowing we are truly blessed because we were born and die soon within a true circle of motion. Like eagle, rounding out the morning inside us, we pray that it will be done in beauty, in beauty.
Good morning. Welcome to church. Wherever you are, however your body, your mind, and spirit bring you here today, may this be a time of nourishment for you. I come to you on the last Sunday of 2020 from my daughter's bedroom in Austin, Texas, because it has the best sparkle, a rainbow Christmas tree, books, artwork. It's a good place to do church since we can't be together in person. Our opening words for our call to worship come from Elandria Williams, or E. Williams, one of the great lay leaders in our movement. E served as co-moderator of our Unitarian Universalist Association from August 2017 to June 2020. A Black UU leader who grew up in our faith, Elandria Williams was a joyous presence and an indomitable force. And we continue to grieve their loss. E passed away this year. If the name Elandria Williams is unfamiliar to you, I encourage you to look them up after the service and take in their wisdom and their legacy. Here's just a piece, an excerpt from We Are Worthy. We are worthy, not because of what we produce, but because of who we are. We are divine bodies of light and darkness. You are not worthy because of what you offer, not because of what is in your mind, not for the support you give others, not for what you give at all. We are worthy and we are whole, just because. Welcome. So glad you're here.
Good morning, we're the Morgans.
I'm George.
I'm Greta.
I'm Anna.
I'm Julie.
I'm Paul.
This morning we light our home chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, with these words.
We light this chalice
with the light of truth and reality, with the warmth of love and compassion,
With the fire of commitment and promise,
We light the symbol of our faith as we gather together.
And now I'd like to invite you to enjoy our anthem this morning. You'll be hearing my voice singing. These are my lyrics, and this is my community that you're going to see in this video. This is the last time that we were all together in my home before the pandemic hit. And this song, which I wrote before the pandemic, is about, it feels even more about things now, but about how we face what's hard and also celebrate what's good. The love and the fire of this year and what we might learn from it. And just remember, when you watch all these people together, what we're fighting for by sheltering and by taking care of ourselves. We are fighting for the chance to safely be together this way again. I hope you enjoy. Sing along, dance along. You are invited.
They tell you it's your fault if you trust. But there's one thing I know, it's this: opposites do coexist, and the last thing they'll ever kill is the love. The world's on fire and we'll still fall in love. The world's on fire and we'll still fall in love. The world's on fire and we're not giving up. No. No, I could let you go, saying it's not worth it. Oh, I could give up before we know. And what's the use in having hope? And even though everything's wrong and it shows, I still look at you and I know one thing could be perfect. The world's on fire and we'll still fall in love. The world's on fire and we'll still fall in love. The world's on fire and we're not giving up. No, no. The world's on fire and we'll still fall in love. The world's on fire and we'll still fall in love. The world's on fire and we're not giving up. No, no. Take a risk this time. It's a hard time to look for hope when the truth can feel like a joke or worse. They tell you it's your fault if you try. World's on fire and we'll still fall in love. The world's on fire and we'll still fall in love. The world's on fire and we're not giving up. No, no. The world's on fire and we'll still fall in love. The world's on fire and we'll still fall in love. The world's on fire and we'll still fall in love. The world's on fire and we'll still fall in love.
For our time of meditation and prayer, I want to share with you a meditation that has been helpful to me this year. This year has been, I think, a lot about finding our tools and our spiritual resources for getting through hard times. And one of them has been simply for me to ask other people, are there any prayers or good thoughts that I can hold for you? And so I'm doing that kind of all the time. I say to people, praying without ceasing, and I mean that. But one of the ways that I do it is through meditation and trying to stay peaceful and grounded as best I can. And a friend taught me a meditation that uses your hand, and it's both breath and embodiment, which I love. It helps you connect. Sometimes when you're stressed, you can get kind of in your head, and I think it helps to connect to your body. And it also shows us that a breathing exercise, you don't have to take an hour and sit in a special position to meditate. There's no deep training that you need to start. So this is a good way to start if perhaps meditation or breathing exercises are new to you. It's just 5 breaths. And we know that because we have 5 fingers. So what we're going to do is I'm going to invite you to put your hand up too. And we're going to use the finger and we're going to move up and down each finger. Feel your skin and breathe in and then out 5 times. Okay, will you do that with me? And just think about the gratitude that we have this breath, the gratitude for our bodies that have brought us here, that truly are beautiful in all their forms. Let's do it. Ready? Good job. And if you're feeling especially in need of breath, remember you can do 2 hands. You could do toes. This is something you can do with children. You can do it on your own. Don't close your eyes, but you could do it at a red light. So put that tool in your toolbox, and I hope it serves you well in the year ahead.
Each Sunday at Beacon, we invite you to light a candle of sorrow, joy, grief, of celebration. Maybe you will be lighting a candle of hope for a new year, a candle of healing for all of us suffering from our country's pandemics. Whether it be COVID-19, racism, poverty, or climate collapse. Maybe you are kindling a light to set an intention for yourself, for our world, a light of gratitude for the blessings in our lives. We invite you to light a candle just wherever you are right now. You are invited to lift up the name of someone in the chat. Come, share with us. Since George Floyd's murder in Minneapolis, Beacon has lit a candle of witness for the Black and Brown Americans killed by police. Here at the end of 2020, we honor and memorialize all of the names spoken in our worship, all of the lives lost, all of the families and communities broken by this violence. And we realize that this is not all of the Black and Brown Americans killed in our country this year by police. May this ritual of kindling light together offer us solidarity, community, inspiration, and shared meaning in our lives. So may it be.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am lone. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, and lead me home. When my way grows drear, precious Lord, linger near. When my light is almost gone, hear my cry, hear my call, hold my hand, lest I fall. Take my hand, precious Lord, and lead me
Jessica Lynn, a Unitarian Universalist lay leader from Raleigh, North Carolina, shares the following. I come on a Sunday feeling weary, having worn out the snooze button on my alarm clock. I come on Sunday feeling frightened, having seared my eyes, reading the latest news. I come on Sunday feeling burdened, having fretted about my work day worries. But I leave Sunday service feeling refreshed, having been renewed by the spirit of love in the community that exists here. I leave Sunday feeling whole, feeling lifted up by the words of righteous challenge. I leave Sunday service feeling energized, ready to continue our fight for peace and justice. Beacon, this haven of peace and refuge, of light which we spread out into the world, exists because we make it so. Particularly this year in the pandemic for 9.5 months, we have come together sharing our gifts of time, our gifts of food, for some at Warm Heart, our skill, our love for one another, as well as our generosity. For the community that means so much to you, for the community that came before, for whom there was the same impact, and for the community that is yet to be with people whom we will never know. Give what you will, for you are a generous people. Remember all the ways in which we are connected to one another, even across these pandemic electronic waves. May we continue to have a place that fortifies and challenges and energizes us. This morning's offering will now be gratefully received.
What a year it has been. A year of incredible loss, both very tangible as well as spiritual. And it's a year when I think many of us found what keeps us going. We have found some resilience, or we knew we had it and we put it to good use. Some of us are still grieving, and it will take a long time. Wherever you are today, as we seek to both celebrate and mourn what this year has been, my heart is with you. And I'm so grateful that you are a part of this community, that you have this community to go through all of this with you. It's no small thing. It's no small thing at all. So as we reflect on this year, I want to share with you a couple of my sources for strength, for spirit in hard times and in good. And so the first one I want to recommend to you is the Poverty and Justice Bible. Now, I grew up UU with not a lot of Bible exposure and experience, so I've been trying to catch up in adulthood on some of this biblical literacy, and it's been a very interesting process. But I'd heard that the Reverend Dr. William Barber, one of our great justice advocates and leaders in this country, used this version of the Bible. So this is the one I got, and here's what makes it special. So in it, passages are highlighted. I didn't do this, though I love to highlight books, but passages come pre-highlighted that relate to issues of poverty and justice. And so I trust that you as Unitarian Universalists are concerned with those topics, and so you may be interested in this version. But what I'm going to read to you from it today is just a little piece of Exodus. The book of Exodus, feminist scholar Carol Myers argues, might be the most important book of the Bible. It tells the story of the Israelites' long, hard journey from slavery to the promised land. And while the struggles may not be the same, I certainly think many people can relate to this feeling of being in the desert, being in the wilderness in 2020, of striving to move from struggle into some sense of paradise or release. And certainly not just the COVID-19 pandemic, but when we think about the pandemic of systemic racism, environmental degradation, so many struggles that we face in modern life, I think we can draw from this story. Now, it's not all struggle, though. In Exodus chapter 15, the Song of Miriam, we find this. After the Israelites had walked safely through on dry ground, Miriam, the sister of Aaron, was a prophet. So she took her tambourine and led the other women out to play their tambourines and to dance. Then she sang to them. Now, I want to thank a friend who pointed this out to me in seminary because it gave me so much joy that even in this hard time, when these people could not have brought much, could not have had much energy, they brought tambourines. And I love the part that it says Miriam was a prophet, so she brought her tambourine. And those two letters, that small word, they say so much. Not Miriam was a prophet, but they let her bring a tambourine. Not Miriam was a prophet, oh, and by the way, there were tambourines. She was a prophet, so she had a tambourine. And the women had tambourines. And I don't think that that's something to be taken lightly. I heard our incoming Vice President-elect Kamala Harris talk about a return to joy in her speech in shattering that glass ceiling. And we need joy in our lives to get through hard times and to do the work of transformation, of liberation. So this prophet Miriam brings tambourines and the women go out to dance and sing. I want to ask you and invite you to think about what your tambourine is. If we are all called to be prophets in some way, shape, or form as Unitarian Universalists, and I believe that we are, that we all have a saving message for people, that we are all loved just the way we are, that community is here for us, well, then what is your tambourine? Maybe you're a musician like me, and so it's pretty literal. Maybe you're going to sing, maybe you're going to dance, and you're going to invite people to come and sing and dance in church with you. But maybe it's something else. What is your tambourine? Your instrument of joy, your instrument of inclusion. And did you use it this year to invite others in? Did you say to a lonely neighbor, will you go on a masked walk with me? I love the out of doors. Did you say to a friend, come walk the dog with me? Or here's the garden I'm working on, or here's the recipe I love. Did you find a way to safely invite people in to your joy? And if you're not sure what your tambourine is, can you make that a mission for 2021 to find one? We all need to have that something that sustains us in hard times and then share it with others. So that's one question I have for you is, what is your tambourine? And I also want to say, as someone who lives in a city that is known for live music, it's been very hard not to have it. And so I'm grateful to church for a place of music. I want us to remember that this year we kept singing even when we were on mute. Now my lamp keeps going out over here, and that's actually kind of appropriate because I have a piece of poetry I want to share with you that relates a bit to light and darkness. And we've also been in this solstice time. And so I want to invite you to take a breath with me and prepare your heart for the poetry of Rainer Maria Rilke. This is another sort of tambourine in my life this year, a poem that has been a source of comfort, of strength, that a friend sent to me when they knew that it was a particularly hard time for me. Like many people, I lost my job to COVID-19. I was a chaplain and a director at the YMCA in Austin, and we made it work as long as we could. But like many businesses and organizations, there was not the money to keep everyone on staff. And so in August, I lost my job and transitioned into a different form of community ministry. And so I also give thanks for the opportunity to come see you as a piece of purpose and creative change in my life. But so a friend sent me this poem, Go to the Limits of Your Longing. And I've always loved Rilke, but I didn't know this one. And they sent it to me because there's this line, just keep going. No feeling is final. But when you listen to this poem, I also want you to think about what it says about light and dark, because that's what really moved me. Here it is. Go to the limits of your longing. God speaks to each of us as he makes us, then walks with us silently out of the night. These are the words we dimly hear. You, sent out beyond your recall. Go to the limits of your longing. Embody me. Flare up like a flame and make big shadows I can move in. Let everything happen to you. Beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. Don't let yourself lose me. Nearby is the country they call life. You will know it by its seriousness. Give me your hand. I hear the voice of the divine through Rilke using words about light and dark, words that we dimly hear. Embody me, flare up like a flame, make big shadows I can move in. And what I love about this, in a year when I've been talking about the world's on fire and we still fall in love, here is this flame, not just in a negative way that things are on fire in a literal or a figurative sense, but make a flame so that there will be a big shadow that the divine can move in. When it's dark, this season of the year, this season of our lives, if you're missing someone over the holidays, if you're grieving, if you wake in the night, as I sometimes do, I joke to friends, just so that my negative thoughts can have time to themselves to roll around in my head. In those dark times, can we remember the beauty that comes with darkness, with blackness, the inherent glory of the night sky and its stars, what Rilke describes, these big shadows that the divine can move in. In those times where the night is long, God, the divine, the still small voice, however you want to define it, is with us. Deeply, deeply with us. You are never alone. I have felt at the limits of my longing so many times this year, with children at home doing distance learning, in my home with my partner, feeling both alone and surrounded by people, never getting a moment's peace all at once. However this year has been hard for you, I want to celebrate that you have made it. You are here. That is no small thing. It is a testament to your ancestors, and it is a testament to you. It breaks my heart, the people that we've lost this year to the pandemic, and the ones we've lost to all the other reasons that we can't get together and mourn. And there is so much love, so much beauty that is still there with us in these great shadows. Remember, please, to keep dancing. Remember that you can be a prophet, a messenger of joy for others. Keep inviting people in. The community needs this church, this congregation, more than ever. And online makes it accessible to many people. So I hope you'll be taking care of yourself in this new year, and I hope you'll be reaching out, bringing joy, bringing comfort, bringing justice, bringing love everywhere that you can. Amen, and blessed be.
My life flows on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, the far off hymn that hails a new creation.
No storm can shake my inmost heart, while to that rock I'm clinging, since love prevails in heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing?
I know the truth in
first I learned to love it. No storm can shake my inmost calm. I hear the music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing? 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 Keep singing. Keep singing. Keep singing. Keep singing.
For our benediction, I invite you to reach out your hands. If you are with someone in your home, what a blessing. I hope you'll hold each other's hands and send good energy and love to those who have no one's hand to hold at this moment. And if you're on your own, may you feel the love of the community surrounding you, and maybe imagine whose hand you're going to hold when we're back together in person in our communities. All right, let's take a breath together. Spirit of life and love, this great mystery, this great turning of our lives, I give thanks for this day. And yes, I give thanks even for this year, which was so hard. I give thanks for the lives of those we have lost. May their spirits live on in us. I give thanks for the ways we have been resilient and cared for each other, for the ways that we keep dancing. How can we keep from singing? Thank you for this community. Care for its spirit, its health, and everyone here. With love, with gratitude, and deep hope and faith for the year ahead. Amen. Blessed be, and I hope to see you again soon.